Hey, fourth grade, happy Monday. We are back with another fun week of science and social studies. If you're wondering why my hair and my makeup is not done, it's because I had to wipe off all of the makeup from the video I made for the learning plan. Guys, don't draw on your face with stuff if you don't have any makeup removers because you have to scrub really, really hard and my face is actually sore right now. But anyway, that's why I don't have my hair done and my makeup is not done. But I know you guys don't care because you're used to seeing me look like a hot mess. This week we are actually going to start talking about fossils. And if we were in the classroom right now, I would ask, what do you think rocks and landforms have to do with fossils? And all of your hands would be up. And you would tell me that it is inside rock or landforms that we actually find fossils. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about fossils. I'm going to show you how you can kind of make your own fossils. And yeah, so Earth scientists called geologists and paleontologists ask questions about the history of Earth. Geologists focus their studies on the structures of rocks and how they formed. Paleontologists ask questions about what life was like millions of years ago. These scientists can't travel back in time, so they look for answers to their questions in rocks. From the evidence they find, paleontologists build models to explain how they think plants and animals lived and what their world was actually like. Over billions of years, Earth's surface has changed dramatically. Areas once covered by water are now dry. Continents have moved around on the globe. Large areas of Earth's surface were once covered by thick sheets of ice, which have now melted. Through all these changes, layers of new rock have formed on Earth. Some layers were formed by molten lava that erupted from volcanoes, covered Earth's surface, cooled, and turned into solid rocks. Other layers of rocks formed from tiny particles of rock called sediments that settled in Earth's ocean, lakes, and swamps. After millions of years, these layers of sediments changed into sedimentary rock. By digging through layers of sedimentary rock, Earth scientists have determined the age of Earth and discovered the organisms that lived here at the time the sediments were deposited. Here are some pictures of fossils. As you can see here, this would be of a fern. And this fossil, it's a fish. And here in this picture, scientists dig through layers of soil and rock. Hey guys, so I'm back with my assistant and her name is Vivian. Something I want to tell you guys is fossils actually form in several different ways. Most form when a dead organism ends up at the bottom of a water environment such as like the ocean, a lake, a swamp, something like that. And what happens is that organism gets buried in mud and sediments, and most of the softer parts of the organism, they decompose. Remember, we learned about that way back when we did environment. So those softer parts, they decompose into the ground, but the hard parts like the bones, the teeth, and some shells, they remain. And what happens is sediments actually carried by erosion continue to deposit on top of the remains, right? So when wind or water come, they're just like, it's more sediments being packed on top of those bones, and then eventually it hardens into rock. So as those buried bones age, minerals actually seep into the bones and bit by bit turn the bones into solid rock. So a bone fossil is no longer bone, but rock in the exact shape of the original bone. So when you think about like paleontologists that are out researching dinosaur bones and things like that, they're actually finding the fossils of those bones, okay? What we're actually going to be doing today is Vivian and I are going to be making our own fossils now. Obviously, we're not making it the exact way and how fossils are formed because I don't have a couple million years. I have like 20 minutes, So here's what we're going to do. If you have some Play-Doh at home, get some Play-Doh. If you don't, if your parents were to Google how to make Play-Doh, it's a very simple recipe with like salt and dough and stuff like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to get some kind of Play-Doh. And then you're actually going to find some sort of small toys now, or rocks from outside, anything like that. Luckily, my children have about, I don't know, 30 million small toys because I step on them all the time. So we have some little My Little Ponies. You see these little guys here? We also have, looks like a soccer player and a mini here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to make my own fossil. I'm going to take this Play-Doh and pretend this is maybe the bottom of a lake or something like that, and it's kind of soft and mushy. And we're going to sadly pretend that that this organism, Minnie, died. And I'm going to press Minnie into my Play-Doh there. And I'm going to show you her. So as you can see, here are like the prints, right? The molds of Minnie. And then what you're going to do is you talk to your parents before you do this. If you want to leave it right here, cool, that's how they decompose, and that's a fossil, awesome. If you want to take it a step further, this is what I'm doing. I am actually going to take some just regular white glue, and I am going to fill in all of these areas here in the hopes of when I pull it out, it is actually going to be the fossil, okay? So get your parents' permission before you do this. I'm going to fill these in here, fill it in, fill it in.
Mom, when it dries, are you going to do it?
Fill this in, and then I'm going to kind of connect it all and see what happens. Okay, so let me show the camera what I did here. You can kind of see here. And then you're going to let that dry for about 24 hours, and then you'll be able to peel it off and you'll be able to see the fossil, okay? So we will see you in 24 hours. Tell them.
No, but first I want to do this.
Oh, you're doing yours? Oh, she's going to do her My Little Pony. Hold on. Show us. All right. Hold it up to the camera. Let's see it.
But next I want to do Cadence.
Okay. Cadence is a My Little Pony, if you didn't know. All right. So while Vivian's doing that, she's going to do the same thing I did. She's going to fill it in with, if you guys have plaster of Paris, really awesome. But we don't have that here. We have glue and we have Play-Doh. So use what you have at home. And what I want you to do is share it with me. If you are able to make this, take a picture of it. Have your parents send it to me. Okay, see you in 24 hours. Say bye.
Bye. But put the glue in.
Say peace.
Peace.
Hey! So it has been 24 hours since I filled my mold. Remember my mini molds? I filled her up with glue, and it's been 24 hours, and I was so excited. I came in, I tried to peel it off, and it didn't work. So I did what any good scientist does. I stomped around my house, and I said, "It's not working." And then I threw the Play-Doh across the room, and I called my mom, because I know you guys do that sometimes. You call your mom, you're like, "Mom, it's not working. Nothing's there." So as scientists, we don't give up, right? We're like, let's see how we can get this to work. So I took my piece of Play-Doh and I put it in the freezer for a little while, thinking, okay, if it hardens up, perhaps the glue will peel out of the mold and I'll be able to get my fossil. That didn't work. That's what happens with science, right? So then I got another idea, and I thought, what if I bake it? What if I put it in the oven? Don't do this without parent permission. So I put it in the oven, and then it did get a little bit harder, but then the glue started to melt again, and then that didn't work either. So I cried some more, and I figured, well, now I can't show this to my students, like it didn't even work. And then I changed my mind. And I thought, you know what? We talked about this all year in science. When things don't work, okay, we try again. And then if they continue not to work, we try again, but we just don't give up. If we were in the classroom, Mrs. Fry would actually had that plaster of Paris, and that's what I would have used, and I know that it would have worked. And I think as scientists, we just need to think, okay, obviously this is something I found online to make fossils, and it worked for them. It didn't work for me. And I thought, well, what did I do differently that they did? And some of the things that I thought about were they used Elmer's glue, and I didn't use Elmer's glue. I used a generic type of glue that I had at my house. Maybe it was the type of Play-Doh. Maybe it was that I didn't wait quite as long as I should have. So I will show you what I actually have here. So this is what happened is you are supposed to be able to peel it and it will come out like a fossil. But mine is not actually peeling. See? It was supposed to like peel off and it be in the shape of the fossil of Minnie. It didn't work. And I don't know if, see, it's still a little bit like wet like it hasn't fully hardened. So I don't know if I actually would have waited a couple of days if that would have worked. I really don't know. But I am going to give you guys a challenge, and I want you to try at home, and maybe you will have more success than I have. And remember, great scientists, they share what works for them and what doesn't, and they build off of one another's ideas. And that's how science has gotten to where it's at. It's just so many people not giving up. So I apologize that this today was a fail, but I think it's really important for you guys to see that. It doesn't always work out. So that was your lesson on fossils. What you're going to do right now is you are going to first stay weird. Do you see it's upside down? Stay weird. You are going to click out of this YouTube video, and you are not going to go onto things that you're not supposed to be on. Don't play around on YouTube. What I want you to do is leave from here right away and go right to your Google form. I want you to go on your Google form, and I want you to answer the questions. I've noticed a lot of you have been watching the videos, and you're like, I'll answer the questions later. I'll do that later. It's really important that you answer the questions right away so you don't forget the information, okay? There's only a couple questions on there. After you're finished with that, Vivian, Mommy is recording. Come say hi.
Please go bike riding.
Yeah, we'll go bike riding later. Now my kids are going to come say hi. Hi. What are you covering your face for? You going to get changed? Come on, Vivian. Come say hi. No, not today. All right. So now I lost my train of thought, guys. This is parenthood. Teaching at home is they're always here. They don't leave. Don't forget that you have a social studies assignment, learning about Pennsylvania, and you have some. You'll have to leave a comment about what you learned about Pennsylvania. Have a great week. If you have any questions, send me a message. And if your fossil works out for you, send me a step-by-step tutorial and let me know how you did it, okay? All right, guys, I miss you. Be brilliant. Be kind. Guys, since hair can't be preserved in fossils, we can't rule out the possibility that dinosaurs actually look like this.